Network is your net worth. I know that sounds cheesy, but I cannot think of a better way to say it, so I say it all the time. So look, 4 major ingredients to building a portfolio or any build business is money, knowledge, network and time. The Delta property matrix is really, really important to find out where you're going to go. But the part at the moment I'm going to talk about is your network. We're just about to head into London and we're going to go to a network event. And what I'm going to ask everybody there is some really, really influential property influencers going to be there today. So I'm going to go up to as many of them as I can and ask them what do they favour? What do they think is more important? Both's important, networking in person and networking online. But what order they put them in? So I'm going to go there now and see what order they put them in. But definitely, the further you go up there with your network, the quicker you will grow your business and the quicker you will go up here with this. There's a few of these indicators. I say to people all the time about this Delta matrix is, look, you need a solid base of buy-to-lets, HMOs, SAs, commercial conversions and development stuff. You build that wealth up via that. But the way you build that up and go up this quicker is by your knowledge. If you're high up on knowledge and low down, high up on network, but you're low down on knowledge and money, that's one of the ones that can substitute some of the other ones, because you can vicariously use your network's knowledge. You can vicariously use the network's money. You can vicariously use your network's time. So if you've got a good network, it really does drive you forward. So come, let's go into London and let's go and do some networking and ask the question. I'd love to get in the comments below what your thoughts are around this. If you want to see more about the property Delta matrix, make sure you watch this video. We'll go more in depth on that. I've done many videos on this, but let's go in London, ask the question and put your answer in the comments. So with discussion of online networking versus in-person networking. So we're going to an in-person network, like I've said earlier on. And look, we just jumped on a train. So one of the things you've got to think about is the leverage of your time. Like, there is a massive place for me for both. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this video what I prefer, online or in-person. But I feel both are important. But one of the things you need to factor is leverage and leverage of your time. You don't get your time back, time's your biggest asset. Look, we just jumped on a train, 51 minutes into Farringdon from where I am. I'm not far from the event, but we're jumping on a train, so you've got to factor in, that's going to be 2 hours of our time done. At the moment, I'm leveraging my time because I'm creating some content on the way, but that journey in is a fair old whack. So one of the things you want to factor in for online versus in person is obviously your travelling time.
What do you value more? What do you think is going to be more important and more powerful for your business? Networking in person or networking online? Like building that profile, networking online?
Yeah, a bit of both is important, but for me it's got to be face to face.
Face to face, yeah?
Like the previous presenter, being authentic, learn about who you are. Because behind a camera, behind a keyboard, anybody could be anywhere.
Yeah, of course.
It's just text and words, you know what I mean? And I can say whatever I want and bullshit people into stuff, but it's not really going to build long-term relationships.
Yeah.
So for me, it's got to be about meeting people and seeing what you can help each other with.
Yeah.
That's the key thing. So face to face.
For me, I think a blend of both, obviously a blend of both. I think building an online profile is really, really powerful because that will get the connections to the face-to-face afterwards. Yeah. So I think it starts with the online profile and then you extend it to the face-to-face afterwards. So like this now, I'm super humbled that you recognise my profile. Yep. The conversation with you now is quicker and easier, especially if I wanted to progress something. Where if I'd met you here for the first time without a profile or anything, it takes quite a lot of touch points to get that going.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very new to that aspect of the game. I've had property for a few years, I've been investing for a few years.
Yeah.
But it's only very recent I thought, you know what, I need to build up a bit of a presence. So I paid for a bit of branding, done a bit of thing, trying to build that. So I'm getting there. Yeah. And I'm taking a lot of advice and a lot of ideas from other people, such as yourself, online, and figuring out what should I be doing. Yeah. And what's going to build a bit of attention, as you say, to then build up relationships that could become face-to-face ones.
Yeah. It's always got to end with face-to-face, without a question of that, but I say that, it's got to be face to face. I've raised capital or finance with people that I've never even met. It's all off of my phone, you know. Like, I've raised capital from people where they're just like, I've only ever spoke to them over phone, I've only ever spoke to them online, I've never ever sat down with them and they've popped money into my bank. I'm like, fucking hell, that is crazy, you know. Like, both. Yeah, sure. But what one would you put in front? Where do you think, what is a horse and what is a car?
I think I'm a little bit old-fashioned. If you ask somebody that's a millennial who was born in 2001, they might tell you something different.
I get you, I feel you a bit.
But because of the way that I was brought up, that human connection, that interaction, getting that confidence to be in front of somebody, I think is important. The business that I've always done has always been in front of somebody who shake hands. Now with e-commerce, you never get to meet people, you can do everything online, click a link and you can still make money, you can still make that connection. But the way that I've always done everything, it's always been in person, it's always been very relationship driven. And the feeling that you get from looking into somebody's eyes, shaking their hand, getting in their personal space, I think you can't get that on online interaction.
Hello, mate.
Right?
Yeah,
nice to meet you, brother.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well, mate.
In person, for me.
In person, yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
That's what I'm saying. They're both equally important, I think. I think there's a space for both. I think the online profile drags the people in. Then when you meet, like now, look, I feel like I know you. I know you because I met you in an event. And it then bridges that gap between speeding up the relationship. Yeah, for sure.
And they've got to work in tandem.
Absolutely, yep.
For me, actually coming back and doing these networking events is quite petrifying. Online,
Same for me,
I come across like I know what I'm talking about, and quite personable, all that kind of stuff. And I started really building my personal brand during lockdown.
Yep.
So suddenly when you're coming out and you're having to go to these events, I'm suddenly like a little bit in the like a rabbit in the headlights.
Yep.
But you've got to have both of those things. If you're just online and nobody sees you, you're more. I always get this wrong with this inconspicuous or conspicuous, but you're more conspicuous sometimes when you don't come to these things.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the cream of the crop of property here, yourself included, of course, and you're the one that isn't here. Sometimes people go, surely Harvey should be in somewhere like this, surely Sam should be in somewhere like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're more conspicuous by not being somewhere than going there. So turning up, just even if you don't talk to somebody deep, you turn up, shake some hands, say hello, fuck off home. It's better than sitting behind the camera at home and just doing that.
Yeah.
You sit behind the camera, you reach out to people that way, then you come and meet them in person and cements that relationship. So you need both. Marketing is the gold sign that you see down Oxford Street. That's your online marketing. That's your doing your lives on Instagram. That's you do more than me, I think, actually. There's very few people that do more than me. You're one of them. It's your reaching out to people on LinkedIn. It's your chatting to people in the DMs. And then your sales is being at these events and turning those prospects into people that want to potentially do business with you in one way, shape or form. I'll be honest, I'm lucky in my business at the moment. I'm at the stage where I don't need leads. I haven't come here because I want you to be a client. I haven't come here because I want Ollie to be a client. I've come here because it's fun and it's good to meet people with like-minded, visions and outlooks and ambition. And that's why I come to these events at the moment. But if you do need to make sales, you're going to make them in the room with somebody. You're unlikely to make them online, in my humble opinion.
The truth is, you've got to do both.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? You've got to do both. But there is nothing like the life in person because you're connecting with people.
Yeah, sure,
you can feel the energy. You can feel sometimes if the person is genuine, the person is fake. And a lot of things get online that can be fake. Not everything online is real, right? So online you can tell the person's energy as well. So one of the things I always say is do both. So you can connect with people online, so you can become, you can also connect with people in real person. So by doing both, you can actually build even stronger connection. So you cannot get it wrong when you're doing both. So do online and meet in person, like you and I. Right?
That's it. That's it.
We've been friends for a while online. And when we met just now, there was a massive change.
Absolutely.
First thing to say is both important.
Yeah, for sure,
But you get a higher return time ROTI, return on time invested, from in-person networking.
Right.
So if you want to make money, do it in person.
Right.
If you want to make connections in bulk, do it online.
Right, okay, yep.
So I always use online for awareness.
Yep.
And to set things up for an in-person event.
Yep.
Better conversion, better connection, much better for selling, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I love that as well. Exactly what I say, like filter from the front end. If you're online, like I'm in the property game, I met other property investors in here who I've never met before, but that connection point, because we've connected online, speeds it up, you know, like...
I use, you use online and LinkedIn like your new business card.
Yeah.
That warms them up, gets you familiar, and you see people and you say, I know that person, you know them from online, but there's nothing like shaking someone's hand, looking them in the eye, or hearing. If you heard my same talk today online, you wouldn't have felt what you felt as you did tonight.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think this is always better.
I think I've never personally been that great at in-person networking.
Okay, yep.
So I think you have to play to your strengths in whatever you're doing.
Yep.
So if you're better online, maybe focus online. If you're better in person, but it's going to be a bit of both. Like I've done deals from people I've met online and people that I've met, in person.
Yeah.
I mean, I go with the principle, the network is your net worth.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It goes without saying. And the biggest feeder that you're going to get is by personal referral.
Yeah.
Now, you could do that in many stages, people that you know are coming to events like this. Where that embodies obviously social media, Matt, you're getting yourself out to the rest of the country, international.
Yeah.
Someone once said to me, you've got your CV, and that's your CV sitting in a cabinet.
Yep.
How'd you get yourself out there? So the only way to get yourself out there is networking events, who you meet. If I didn't come here tonight, would I have had the pleasure of speaking to Mark Wright? You know, would I have the pleasure of taking in a lot that was obviously given? And with anything that you do and where you go, unless you can learn it, unless you implement it, means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of things that were mentioned. It was all about attention. You know, me meeting you. You know, how did you grab my attention? I looked at properties.
Yeah.
You and I spoke. It created a bit of interest. Yeah. If you create a bit of interest, it leads to desire. But you and I can talk. What we're going to do afterward? What's the action? Are we going to stay in contact? So a lot of people come to these networking events. They pick numbers. They don't actually do anything with it.
Yeah.
So the point is, use the resources that you've got, you know, and sometimes it's at your fingertips. And these things you take for granted.
Yeah.
Some of my friends that are the biggest developers that I know
Are not online,
don't do
yeah.
any social, they don't do it if you don't necessarily need to. And I think it just really depends on what you're trying to get out of it. Like I think for a lot of people, social media is like fishing with a big net.
Yeah.
You know, you can throw it out there, but it's not specific. You kind of just get what you're given based on what you put out there. Yeah, you can fish in the right areas, but it's still very vague. Whereas in-person networking, and like you mentioned, so you might see that, okay, Mark Wright is somebody who specifically there's some synergy there where we can work together and you can have that direct conversation. And I think it's give and take because potentially if you, like you said, you've got that credibility from social media and you then speak to Mark Wright and say, look, this is what I do, you've got your shop window. So I think it's a balance, but at the end you've got to play to your strengths. But the reality is, networking, social media, marketing, all for me is like 20%. The actual doing the business and doing everything that you need to do your bread and butter. Because you can have 100,000 followers on social media. If you don't do anything, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
You can have a great online profile, but if you're not really good at what you do, so if you're saying I'm the best salesman, and like you said, you don't have any sales figures, you're going to get found out. I think, like I said, some of the biggest developers that I know, people that are doing, sort of 10, 20, 100 million, they don't necessarily need that social media. There's a reason why they do it, because their brand was good. They had credibility, they had accountability, and had integrity. And I think those values are not going to get lost as social media gets bigger. It just means you're going to have to play a part and maybe have a social media presence as well, just to add to it. I don't think it takes away from those core values.
Yeah.
We're always looking for the next best thing. Yeah. So Instagram by the name Instagram, it's great. I say TikTok is Instagram on acid. Because it's that bit faster.
Yeah, so we're in a like everything like society. We're in a consumption-based society. That's not just social media. That's the clothes we wear, the cars we buy. It's all about consumption, about increasing product on a yearly basis. And like you said, social media is just literally that on steroids.
Yeah, amplifier of it. Just
got back home and absolutely exhausted. It's been a long day for me. It is now 12:30 at night time. So that is one of the things of networking. I do find that it interrupts your sleep pattern a little bit because you're out late, you're a bit buzzing from the room. But back, and it's been great to see the different views. Everybody had different views. I feel some of them views are tied to what they actually feel more comfortable with, not necessarily what would work. But I think one thing's for sure, you need networking. You need to build a network out, whether that's in the rooms, whether that's online. A blend of both is the most powerful, but whatever one you pick, you've got to pick one to move your business forward. That saying your network is your net worth is absolutely right. I feel if you left the online profile out, do it like you could still grow a business without an online profile, but you're definitely going to slow down the growth of that business without question or doubt. Let's think if you mark yourself as an entrepreneur out of 10, let's say you're a 10 out of 10 entrepreneur and you push a business forward, you're still going to push it forward. But if you add social media to it, you'll be a 12 out of 10. And if you as a 5 out of 10 entrepreneur, you're going to push yourself to a 7 out of 10, like by your pace, how quickly you can grow a business. So without question of that, it will grow it quicker, any business, if you add the social media element to it, but at least do one or the other. I'm super humbled tonight. The amount of people that come over recognised me, spoke to me, the business I'm getting off the back of this, the opportunities I'm getting off the back of building a profile, especially where I was really uncomfortable with building a profile in the first place, is just ginormous. It's transformational. I've got 100k for a deal that I'm doing at the moment. I've got 50k for another deal, 90k, all come off the back of my social medias. Check this video out if you want to see the deals that I'm doing with this money that I'm raising off the back of this. But if you want to raise money, if you want to raise, your network is direct correlation with how quickly you grow your business. So the quicker you grow that network, the quicker the relationships, the quicker you get them touch points, the quicker you grow your business. And you cannot get them touch points and build them relations any quicker. And I feel, as I said to many people tonight, you'd seen this, putting it online and taking it offline afterwards just to solidify what you've done is just the most quickest way you'll do this. So listen, my wife's to live on my terms. My mission is to help as many people live on their terms using property as a vehicle to do that. So if you've not already, please share this, press the like button, hit that bell icon, hit the subscribe if you're not already. And remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms. Have an amazing day.